Hello, howdy do, how you doing? Welcome to another live stream chat. I'll start again. Hello, welcome to another live stream chat, and it's all about an ESP32 web interface or web API, whatever you want to call it. I've just got to check. Do some housekeeping. Welcome to another live stream chat. Doing some just some housekeeping. Make sure we're not trying to kill ourselves on the stream. Okay, yeah, so we've got a little bit more progress. I've been out of action for since Sunday night. Did a bit of a Samaritan job on Saturday. Went to see a relative in hospital. Unfortunately, they were so glad to see us. They were giving us hugs, and me and another guy, colleague, father, what do you want to call him? Little did we know, we came away with a stomach bug. Yeah, so been off work for 3 days, and this is the last. I'm back at work tomorrow. It's gone through the system. So anyway, not a nice place to visit these days. Old hospitals. It's our own fault for being a bit silly for going there. Anyway, back on track again now. On a feast of boiled potatoes and rice and chicken. Yeah. Unfortunately, a few others in the house have caught it as well, so very virulous, not very nice, nasty. It's nasty one, but anyway, back on track a bit. So if your voice is extra groggy, you know why. Anyway, so I haven't done a lot on it. What little I did manage to do on it while feeling unwell was we needed to go into the button. So let's just switch over to the desktop screen a minute. Hang on. Okay, so we're back on this one. We've got open Visual Studio Code with Platform IO running the C# Arduino core. Yeah, so it's not ESP IDF, it's just the Arduino core. And we've got an open Chrome browser on a local IP address, and we've opened up onto the web API. And if you want to see the gadget, this is the gadget here. You've seen it before. Got two of them, two readers. We've got some fobs here going on. Alright. Got the cup handle in the way of the view there, so let's just shuffle that out of the way. We've got a bit of a spaghetti going on here. Alright. Yeah, and just go back to the that view again. We've got a few views going on. If you didn't see the last one, I've had to stick a few guitars on the bench there, which I wanted to keep clear, just because they're in the way. And I've squirreled some more away over there. This is crazy, I know, crazy. Anyway, let's have a look at the room view. So that's a picture of me from the other view. Extra monitor now. I've got a monitor here, another one over there, so we can see what's going on. See if anything's freezing up. You've got a spread of the main, what used to be the main setup for recording studio. Actually, that is I developed the music for the intro on there, and the animation with some tools on Windows. So anyway, mention the animation, the intro music. Have an intro for a second, and I'll show you some other views. Back in a second. Right, we're back. Yeah. I used a Cubase for that. Cubase with I think it was was it Cubase something light? I can't remember now. I've got a different computer now. There's no stuff. There's nothing on it. No sequence stuff on it. I've got to reinstall it. But yeah, we'll leave that alone for a bit. Right, some more views. What else we got? So you've got your face on view, your one from the corner, and we've got a roaming camera that's fixed at the minute. So that's that view. All right. So anyway, this whole building's a work in progress. So pass on back to that one. All right. So I don't know whether you know any background. If any new watchers, my name's Dave Jones. I do access control and automation and industrial door installations and anything from a pedestrian door with no automation, just an handle, to the side of it. I always say this, to the side of an aircraft hangar, opening up from a remote control from the other side of the world. Yeah. So anything in between and including and not mutually exclusive or anything. Yeah. Anyway, and I also work full time doing that for a company. And what else do I do? I've got my own company, which doesn't earn any money. It doesn't earn any money. It just costs me money out of my day job. Yeah, to keep it running. And if you didn't know, it's called UPAS. And I sold 2 units to my day job back in 2019 or 2018. And I've not bothered to. The company's been in a constant R&D stage ever since, research and development, as the technologies keep changing. One of my initial controllers was based off an Arduino Mega. I'll probably be able to shuffle around and find you one actually. So it might help to have a bit of background. Then I spoke to a few people. Everyone was going ESP, and I had some early ESP version 1s, the little pin things, like IDE header type things. Never did really anything with it. I could do all I wanted to do with the Arduino Mega, really. So, anyway, let me see if I can show you that, if I can find it quickly. I think I've showed it you all before, anyway. Stuffed a few in here over there. Back in a second. I don't know where I put them. Everything got shoveled around. And you can have a laugh watching me. Yeah. So I've got another guitar in the way there. Stuff in the opening of the drawer. Right. That the one. I've got Arduino stuff everywhere. Right, there's one. I'll show you that one. That's don't know what the history of that one is. Still there. That's it there. That was one of my first boards. Hang on, let me just count how many connectors are on it, because I might be telling you a field. No, that's right. It's got inputs, 4 inputs, 2 outputs, 2 relays, 4 inputs. And it's got a dual RFID input. The reason it's all based on an RFID is because I've been involved in access control since 1993 or 94, 90, something like that. Anyway, I wrote a barcode access control system in Turbo Pascal 7 back in 1996 up till 2000. Or was it? No, it was actually 95. 95 I wrote it, the summer of 95. For a company I was working for at the time, anyway. So, technology moved on with the microchip, the microchip pick. And there's no libraries around at the time in that era. You couldn't seem to get all the libraries and stuff. Anyway, something happened in 2005 with Adafruit and Arduino releasing their little what do you call it? Do Milanova or something. I bought one of them in 2009. I thought it was great. You didn't go mess around setting fuses and stuff, and you could actually get somewhere with it. So that was fantastic. That was. Anyway, so I've still got loads of boards for these, and they're still useful. But obviously, there's no got a battery backup. It's quite clever. I've designed it. I probably could pull that off. Actually, let's pull that off. Let's just pull the lid off. Don't know if you can see this with it. Let me see if I can get the lid. Well, it's not a lid. It's an inverted shield. This is Arduino shield. Right, I've got it off. So you've got your Arduino Mega, standard Arduino Mega stroke clone, if you want to call it a clone. And in here, we've got a lot of dust going on. This must have been stored for a while. But anyway, in there, you've got a supposedly precision. Can you see that? Precision real-time clock there. And we've got this particular one was made up. It's made up out of existing components where possible, little boards, modules where possible. You've got a switch mode power supply. The one I used to use quite often. It's pretty good supply, really. It's got the reservoir capacitors on it and all sorts. Anyway, so and then you got your buzzer. So you got your real-time clock. And your Arduino, it's designed. The board's laid out so it just sandwiches together. So it misses things like, you can just easily put it together. Takes advantage of whatever pins it needs to. It misses the internal sound or everything. They're just pushed together. And I made engraved a cover to go over it and a base for it to sit on everything. Got a program button, and it'll even fit a Wi-Fi module that I designed as well on top of there. But it's all plug-in, and it was more of a prototype, but I mean, it does work. We've got one in the test. Let's just make sure we're streaming okay. Yeah, we're doing all right. Yeah, we've got one in the field, literally in a field. One of the colleagues, he's got a bit of a place where he keeps his horse, and he's got one on his gate. He does want a Wi-Fi version actually. So this is non-Wi-Fi unless you stick the module in. Can I find a module? Let's see if I can find a module. Let's see if I can find you a module. Where's the best place? Is the left of the best. Yeah. Yeah. Tell you what, I'm gonna move, right. I'm gonna move somewhere. Got this chocolate fire guard and an electric guitar that's always in the way. Right. So I've got that, right. I can open the cupboards now. Right. Let's find you a module. That's minimal, this and stuff one up here. Anyway, where are we all? Oh, I found one all made up in plastic. So it's the same again. I designed the plastics. That's the same again. But one's made up in plastic. So an LCD on board and all sorts of stuff. It's just milled out, designed in SketchUp, the plastics. You got 3 lots of plastics. Even the washers I milled out on my CNC. They're not laser cut and they're not 3D printed. They're milled out of a sheet of plastic. I know there's that. Right. Hang on then. So what I'm trying to do is find the module. Can't find you one. Oh well. I've got one. Right. I found one finally. Yeah. So I designed this module. Let me unplug it. This is just an Arduino. This is my old first Arduino actually. This one. I took the chip out and I'm just using the using the USB converter. Just so we could talk to this and program this device. And that's my, let's unplug it. That little board there, it uses an ESP32 UPAS, which I did all in wireless programming. I had it as a module. And what the module would do is it would plug into there like that on that same header. And it just plug in there. It even had a standoff as well for it. Did I put a standoff on? It just sat there like that. And there's a screw hole. You could just screw it in place. But anyway, so that was the little wire. That's the complete Arduino Mega with a Wi-Fi module on. It take LCD screen, standard 2x16. It plugs into a header down there, that LCD. There's no such thing as stemmer or anything like that when that was designed. So anyway, so that's the one I built. And I did a little bit more with it. You got some headers here. See these headers here? You can't see it. The headers there and there. And also that one there. I'll show you another one. It's turned into a bit of a show and tell, this, isn't it? It shouldn't ought to be. Anyway, you won't believe it, but that's the same thing again. Right? Now that's the same thing again. If you look in there, it's a bit grimy, this one. The glue's gone all over it. But inside there is the same one again. But I made another PCB to sit on top of the other PCB, the one I've made. And you put I showed you this one already. You've got your 3 buttons, your LCD there. You've got an OLED. I've brought out the ability to put your Wi-Fi module in there. That one that was on there. So anyway, this one will just plug into there like that. Same again. Now it'll also fit behind, but obviously you took that up with the fact that you put this. This is a weird one because it's got a shield below, a shield above and a shield below, and there's another there's modules on top of shields. Anyway, so this one we got a thermopile. Made this module as well. That's plug-in, but it's got a screw in it at the minute. But it's in the shape of a T. It's got neopixels. It's got a 2-meter LiDAR on it. It's got a medical non-touch temperature sensor. It's got an OLED. And the board will take underneath as well, when that's off. It'll take a TTGO T display. And you can use that board on its own with that, and that is its own controller as well. But it also piggyback off the back of the Mega. Anyway, enough about all that. Right. Oh, so where did we get to then? So that was 10 years worth of work. Well, since 2014 or 13, I really started on it. 2012, 2013. I spent a year making a programmable PLC, which was quite good, but then I got sidetracked onto this new project. I resurrected my access control system. Instead of being written in a novel networks type of colours, DOS colours, Turbo Pascal 7. Instead of it written in that, I just utilised all the latest stuff, basically. Oh, someone says hello. Hi there, just found your channel. Amazing what you have achieved so far. Looking more into the amazing contraption. Yeah, it's too right it is, yeah. Too right. Yeah. Right, that's it, thanks. I'll say thanks to anyone who stops by. No problem. Yeah, so your 10 years can go very quickly. However quickly you can, your 10 years can go by. I'm trying to generate a bit of community on it, you know, trying to get people interested. Some of the code, I've always wanted to give back to the community. I had two websites initially, rgplc.co.uk and upasltd.co.uk. But I've dropped the one. It's getting a bit too expensive to keep them all going. But the one was just dedicated to giving back, so I've amalgamated the two, and I've got a bit of a section on it which is mostly incomplete. But this thing's quite interesting. It was gonna be a temperature access control system, or TAC. So I created this module. It's called a TAC module. If you've never seen it, I'll plug it in and show you. It's worthwhile seeing. Let me just find a USB lead if anyone's still there. Let me just get you plug that out. Hopefully none of my cameras are froze up. Right, now where did I put those damn USB leads? And you might say, what's all the guitars for in the background and keyboards and stuff? That was going to be an hobby before all this hobby came along, you know. There it is. Right, I'm trying to get organised slowly, but it's a bit awkward. Right, let's show you this thing. I couldn't really show last time because what it was, I didn't have enough range. It's programmed up for you to be out of the range of it. Might be better on that other view, actually. Hang on. Let's try on another view. Where's that view? No, that's not. That's the worst view, isn't it? Hang on. No. Click on that one. So what this does, it's got firmware on it. It's not my UPAS firmware. It's just written directly in Arduino C. But it's utilizes all the. Where am I looking? I'm looking over there. I'm watching a delayed version of myself, so I'm getting a bit confused here. Right. Anyway, so what we've got here, don't know if you can see that. Probably blurred, is it? Yeah, because what it does is it uses the LiDAR and the thermopile to find out where the person is. You can set the trigger range on the distance. Actually, let's just show you that now. If I use my hand as an obstacle, yeah, you've got, see the I don't know if you can see the green T. Oh, you can see the red T. So basically, I wanted to be able to calibrate the U. I didn't want the user's face to go right up to it like that. So what it does, it tracks you in. I don't know if you can see a blue. Let me try and follow it. It'll light blue as you get closer to it, and it tracks you up. So when they're blue and they're rising, it tracks you in, so you know where you need to be for it to get you. So you basically just walk up to it with your head, and you've got your buttons. You can set the temperature. It shows you the temperature over here. So while it's not reading anything, it's showing you the ambient temperature. And when you go up to it, it'll say move forward. It'll show you the temperature. I've got the calibration set weirdly at the minute. It's in order for it to trigger. But if I press the middle button, I can go to the trigger temperature, and I can lower it slightly. It's on 37 points on that. So I'll just lower it set. Right, so I've lowered the trigger temperature. It's got an audible feedback and everything. So if I try it again, yeah, probably I need to raise the trigger temperature actually. Now, because of I abandoned this project because of too many variables. Right, let's just raise the temperature. So raise the trigger temperature. So that's it. So obviously it's not going to give you a red T now. I've raised the temperature. It's quite warm in this room. It's still going to give you that. Okay. It is 27 in here. Now these non-touch medical sensors, they only work really between about 30 and 50 mil. That's their distance, and I've set this to trigger further away. So let's change the trigger distance. So I'm on 300 mil. 300 mil is about there. So I'm going to lower it down to. I'll go down to the. Let's go down to 100 mil. See what we get. As soon as you come away from its setup distance, 50 mil, the sensor itself, you start swaying away. So let's have a look. Yeah, so I had to get right close then. And because the temperature was under the trigger temperature, it lights up green. Yeah. If you can change the temperature. So change the trigger temperature. I'll lower it down a bit now because I get more accurate, and a lot depends on ambient temperature. This is one of the reasons I stopped using it. And there was a few reasons. Right, I set that to 36.9. That's 36.0. Let's go a bit lower. Say 35.9. Now this should be random now. That says it's okay. And if I use the back of the hand, still okay. The wrist, you have to clear out the way as well. It's designed to track people in a row going towards you, and they veer off. Another one comes at it. But anyway, there's a few settings in there. I can't remember now. It's been a while. Trigger temperature, trigger distance, confirmation beeps, LCD timeout, operating mode. I can't remember what those are now. Mode 0, whatever that is. Offset. Oh yeah, you've got an offset as well, an arbitrary and offset, set to 0. So the offset person detected, that's because it's picking you up. I've just moved it towards, I'm trying to show you the display. Yeah, so you got an offset. So if you get it set up in a room, on a wall, and you know what if your ambient temperature in the room's pretty much fixed, you can calibrate it. And don't forget your non-touch medical sensor. When you scan people, those little handheld ones you can get, they're telling you lies, right? They're telling you lies because your skin temperature is about 32, 33 degrees, but you put it on your head and it says you're 36 point something. It's lying, right? It's adding an arbitrary amount to it, and it's got some algorithms in there to stop it being. You've got to be quite higher temperature than just borderline, because the last thing it wants is to start reporting that you're over temperature. And if you do take your temperature properly, and imagine they get loads of returns, right? So they don't want it. A bit like the scandal of the Volkswagen EA189 engines, fuel emission. Anyway, right. So another reason I couldn't do anything with this, it's supposed to be to detect that dreaded thing we had to go through. Anyway, but the LiDAR was supposed to be able to see through certain plastics, and so was the thermopile, certain clear polycarbonate. I could never find the one it would go through. Tried a couple of different types, and every time I tried, it kept measuring the heat off the plastic, and it kept measuring the distance off the plastic. So it meant I couldn't put a cover over it, right? And because you can't put a cover over it, you can't wipe it down quickly. Imagine these sensors in the real world after people have tried to wipe them down, all the dust's gone in them. That was the second one, and then that was the first problem, major problem. The other major problem was you can't control the ambient temperature in a room. If you want to put this in an entrance to a building or a hallway, and it's always going to have gusts of winds blowing in, there's no way to keep the ambient temperature. This thermal pilot uses the case temperature of its own device as the ambient temperature, which it bases all its calculations on. These are both I2C devices anyway. So that you couldn't. So if you had someone who just come out of the cold weather, out of the freezing cold, well, I'll put this away now. Sorry about that loud noise. So if you had someone just came out of the cold, what would happen is, sorry about that noise here. That should turn off system sounds really. Anyway, so if you had someone come out of the cold and they would just been out in the cold for half an hour or an hour, and their skin and everything was freezing, they just walk up to it. What's it going to say? It's just going to read well below, isn't it? Right. And the gust of wind coming in with the door is going to totally throw the calculations off. So the only way for that to be consistent, you'd have to have a controlled environment. You'd have to make the user wait until they got warm and then sat in front of it. Plus you couldn't keep it clean. So that put the wash on that. And yeah, I could have made it into a product and sold it. But sold as, just sold it knowing that it was no good for the job. I can't do that. It's probably why I've not made any progress with my stuff so far. But anyway, it's got to be right, otherwise I can't let it go. But anyway, so going back from that one, that's still a go with that one. Is, by the way, if you want to operate two doors or an airlock or a turnstile, you still need one of them, right? But what I've done is I've made the new one. Where's it? Yeah, I've made the new one half the size. So the other one was 100 by 100 PCB. This one's 100 by 50 PCB. And this one, actually, let me show you another one. I'll tell you what, I'll show you another one first. If I can find it. This one's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's a bit dusty, this one. Right, it's a bit dusty. But there's one, its predecessor. Now, I initially made one to work with Unexpected Maker's Tiny Pico. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a tiny Pico on there. Right, so I designed it around that. And it worked out okay, and I got my original 12 volt to 5 volt converter, little switch mode converter. You can buy a little PCB. It's the same one that's on the original board, the same converter there. Hang on, where is it? That one. It's the same one there, see? Right, so I built it to use that, and there's not a lot of space for anything else. Right, now I've got the OLED still. You've got the buzzer and all the rest of it. You've got the same inputs and outputs, same button. There's no much difference. Just things are moved around a bit on the new one. The problem I got was I was hoping that Sion would bring the price down of this. I know he couldn't. The price of all the chips went up and everything. But it got to be shipped. It would be about, I think I got it from Pi Moroni. It wasn't too bad. It's about 18 or 19 quid. £19, something like that. Anyway, I thought, well, I want to sell this as cheap as I can. So I thought, if I buy that, then I've got to build it and buy all the bits and all the rest of it. It's going to take a large chunk out of the price. So anyway, it's a shame, but I thought the easiest thing I can do is rebuild it, redesign it to use a cheaper. I know this one's got, I think it's got PS RAM and all sorts on it. I can't remember now. The tiny Pico, Unexpected Maker's tiny Pico. So anyway, I redesigned the whole thing again. To use an ESP32 node, so ESP32 node MCU. The reason is because they're like £3.50. Let me find one of them out. Right. Yeah. By the way, I got drawers full of Raspberry Pis and different boards and all sorts of stuff and shields. What a load of money! You can spend a fortune. Anyway, so that was there's the ESP32 S node MCU. You've seen them. These are, I don't like this one, but it does the job, and it's cheap. Obviously, it ain't gonna fit. This is the Unexpected Maker board. I bought 10 of these. I had 10 of these JLC PCB. But I made 10 of them, and I can still use them, but I have to buy. I mean, you could probably fit an Arduino, micro, whatever they call them, the little PCB ones without the all the extra header on. You could put hardwire one in there probably. You could make a little dill fit in there, a little dip package, and you could use the board still if you want. Or you could just go ahead and buy some tiny Picos. I've got 2 tiny Picos here. Well, like I say, if you want to knock a load out, it's going to cost a fortune. Anyway, I'm not having a go at the bloke. He's got to charge where he's got to charge to keep. He's got, to keep going. He's got a business to run and premises and everything. But anyway, like I say, I wanted to keep it as cheap as possible. What's the point of designing stuff if nobody knows you exist? Anyway, so going back to the newer model, redesigned, very slightly redesigned. Well, not slightly, a lot actually. Totally redesigned again. But anyway, that one just sits in there. I've put them in a socket on the ones on the test bench. Plus, I got one that doesn't want to go in. Oh. I got one that don't want to go in. What have I done? Bent a pin. No. So you can buy 10 of these off AliExpress for about 40 quid, 38 quid or something delivered. Well, you could do before all the nonsense is going on. You probably still can. Alright, I can't get that to go in. Well, it's designed to go in a socket, really. Oops. I must have bent. I must have. Yeah. Oh, I've got them all in sealed bags, but this must. I don't know why this one's out. I did have one that was delivered and didn't work. So anyway, I want to get it in there because I want to see how low profile it goes. Not having much luck with that. Huh? Not having a lot of luck with that one. Let's try it here. The light's not brilliant in here. Anyway, so if you want to put it in a socket, you can. Otherwise, you can put it right down to the board level, like that, and it'll be pretty flush. I quite like it like that. And the problem is, there's a bit of a design flaw because your programming bit is there. Your programming bit's there, and when you got the headers on your screw terminal, you can't even see. When you got your screw, you still can't see. Where am I going? Anyway, your screw terminal's getting in the way to get your programming header if you don't put it in a socket. But to be fair, once it's programmed in, you can do OTA. You can put your socket on after, or you could maybe find a little cranked one that'll fit in. Have I got another one to show you? No. Anyway, that's another one I started building. Anyway, put all that away. Let's get rid of that. And there's these controllers have got a bit of a party trick as well. Because what they've got, I've put in a Lalin TFT display port and Adafruit QT port on it. So let's just go down to this view here. So this you got. Tell you what, I haven't got in here. I haven't got a US microscope cam. I've got one upstairs. We'll have to bring it down next time. But anyway, it's got. I don't know if you can see this. Actually, let me get the other one out. Yeah. You can see it on this one. Where are you? I wish I could work this camera out. Anyway, here's a close-up. See this little white port? You plug in there a TFT, a Lalin TFT, then you got your white QT stemmer QT port. Yeah, stemmer. So I've used the same pin out there. You've also got another port here for a standard LCD screen. And there's also a nice touch as well, somewhere there. That's a nice touch. There's an 8K FRAM, on it as well. So it's all wired up and working. And you got your three octo isolated inputs. Got your push button. I haven't put the push button on. Relay output. I'm doing the opposite here. Relay output and buzzer. You know what I ought to do? Reverse the image it's showing me. But anyway. Right. So you got the only thing you have got different is sort of that bulking grate. That bulking grate switch mode supply. I've gone to a little Buck 360. But there's no real great capacitance on there. So I've had to put in a little reservoir capacitor just there to stop brownouts, stop brownouts. And also the these, right? They haven't got a low dropout regulator. They're not like Xeon will put a low dropout on his. These just come as they are. So you try to power them from USB, right? If you try to power them from USB, every time if your cable, your USB cable's too long, or it's going to brown out in your program. You're going to think your program's crashing. So you have to look at your serial debug and find out that it's not crashing at all. It's just browning out. Your watchdog time will kick in and all sorts. Anyway, so that's that. So let's get back to let's have a sip. So back to the interface. Okay. Right. So what I've developed. Oh God, where do I start with this? Yeah. So anyway, I'll tell you what. I'll just go on to. I've got a video. I've just noticed recently it's getting a few more views than normal. It's the one where I started turning this into part of a audio video intercom. That was the idea. It's still on the go, that is, but I've got to do some more work with it. But I wanted to get it set up into the cases. How can I show you this? Hang on. Let me. I don't want to overdo the streaming by showing you something. Hang on. Let me just bring it up on the screen. I might be able to drag it over for you. Yeah, if you've not seen this one, it's pretty good. Hang on, let me find it for you. Videos. No. Right, I've gone to my channel. Hang on. Right. Yeah, so let me just drag this over here if it'll let me. Is it going to let me? Right, screen capture. Hang on. I'm not going to dox myself. Shouldn't do. Right, so this one here. This one is the board itself. That's the design of the board and the animation. But it's got quite a few views compared to all the rest, so I kept it small. People aren't watching it very long. They only watch it for about 4 minutes. But it tells you all about it. But it was going to be, and I suppose I could bring. I tell you what. Let's close that one down. Right. Let's bring up. We'll bring up the program I modelled it in. Why not? I don't know which screen it's going to turn up on there. If it ever turns up. Where is it? Ah, here we go. It's trouble with having too many screens, isn't it? At least the camera hasn't seemed to locked up today. Right, hang on. Let's alright. I've got to find it now. Hang on, I just got to take it off screen while I find it. I haven't loaded it up for a while. Open. It's not on the recent ones. Right. I forgot where I put them now. Why? Just got to find the things. Well, I've shifted them off my drive, but oh, is that it? Oh, I've got all sorts of stuff going on here. Oh, it's crazy. I don't even know what I called it now. I suppose I should search by date modified, shouldn't I? UPAS calls, desktop cloud flattened, right. Oh, flatten call station. Right, let's try that one. I don't know if that's it. Save changes to no. Right, let's bring this over here. Alright. So this is the wooden box modelled to design to take the. I think all the rest of the model is here as well. It's written in SketchUp Make 2017. You can still get this if you want. It's free, but you won't find it quickly. You'll have to search for that. They may have taken it away. They want you to pay for everything these days. Right. Anyway, so we've got this box, right? It's about 220 wide by about 150 high. Let me just put you on a little intro a minute. Back in a second. Alright, we're back. Oh, right. Anyway, it's right, back onto the desktop. Here we go. So what we got is I modelled this. This is going back a couple of years. Anyway, so let me just right, let's put something on. Let's put the top cover on. Lower intercom wall mount. LC polycarbonate sheet. Right, so there's a polycarbonate sheet goes in there. Speaker? No, yeah, speaker. Where's my PCB? Hang on, I'm gonna find it. Yeah, so there's the TFT screen. All this gets bolted to the clear polycarbonate. And you've got an aluminium, wherever I can find it, desktop cowl, feet. You can't see the feet. Aluminium. Oh, there's some fixings. Aluminium LCD. So if you want to build one with just a 2 row by 16 LCD, you can do that. Use that aluminium. If you want to build one with a TFT screen, you use that one. There's the two together. You can put your button in. All this lot fits in there. You got a cable clamp as well. There's a camera module. It's got, that's used as an ESP32 cam plugged into a board that I've not made yet. So I've got all that. We've got a lot of work to do still. Anyway, wall mount. No, that's not it. That's the LCD that goes with the LCD for the aluminium. And you can see it all lines up just beautiful like that, isn't it? Anyway, I don't know why I'm showing this, but anyway. Yeah, there's a desktop one or a wall mount out of aluminium or whatever. It will mount it on a wall. And you get, you know, let's, I don't know why it's showing you that one as well. Hang on. Why am I showing that one as well? Wall mount. Cowl? No. So I haven't looked at this program for a while. Hang on. Wall mount. Wall mount. Nope. Wall mount. Right, that gets rid of that. So you got your polycarbonate sheet and speakers and all the rest of it. Anyway, it goes on and on. This does. Let's do that screen with that screen there. So it's a TFT. Anyway, it's the whole thing to make an intercom. Yeah. I even got the desktop wedge to go in it as well. See the wedge with the rubber feet on. I know it looks silly, but this sizes were designed. So you go to the local you go to your local timber yard and you buy a 7x2 beam, and then you chop it to size, and then you can mill it out. You know, it seems crazy. I've got to do it yet. I've got all the wood. I bought the wood to do it. Yeah, I bought all the wood to do it. Not done it yet though. Right. What else is there? Is there anything else on this? Let me show you the the cape. Why is it not showing the PCB for that? Oh, hang on. That's the layers off. That's why. Right, let's layers off. So let's turn off. Let's take the aluminium off a minute. Right, you got the polycarbonate, and that board, the board that's down here. Hang on. This board here sits upside down there, and that's it there. That's the board. Okay, it looks a bit misty because we've got the polycarbonate on. Just turn off the polycarbonate sheet, and you can just see it floating in mid-air now. Anyway, that's all in there. So they're designed to be modular, and the reason they've got a Larlin display on it. Can I lose the cowl? Hang on, let's lose the cowl. Wooden cowl. How do I let? I wish I'd put these in. Hang on, cowl. Right, and the wedge. Get rid of the wedge. Right. So we can go around the back now. Okay. It's just yeah. So basically, your Larlin TFT display comes with this. Can't see it very good here. That socket, and so I made the equivalent socket on the board, and it's all wired up to the correct pins and everything. So it can just have a ribbon from there to there. Yeah. And you just compile your software to say it's got one of these, or you switch on this, the fact it's got that, and you can lose the OLED, or you can lose the LCD, or you can keep all three if you want. If you want to keep all three. Anyway, how long have we been streaming? An hour. Right. Okay. So there's that, and then you got your stemmer port as well, in case you want to put a real-time clock or sensor or something on there. Anything you want. Yeah, that's about it really. Let's get rid of that then. So anyway, if you want to see a bit more, have a look at that other video. It's getting a lot of views. It'll tell you a bit more about it, but I've got to get back on track with that. The whole idea of this project. Let me just close that down. So the whole idea of building this is to put it in use in multiple scenarios, basically. If you want to just control a door or even a 7-day timer. So getting back to that, let's show you the progress on it. So what I did, I haven't done much for the last few days. I've been ill, but anyway. So we can log in. I've got these buttons going on now. It was a tri-state button. Now it's a 4-state or quad-state button. So you can click it on. It's your mode for your relay one. So that's if you just want to override anything else that's going on and make that relay come on. It'll just come on. The next one is timer. So it's a bit like a central heating timer where you're on timer, but if the timer is not in the time zone, the active zone, it'll say off. Or you can go into timer on. So you have to choose, you have to decide whether you're in the time zone or not. Right? So you have to so if your timer here, this is your timer. It's got an entry for quarter to 11 till 11 on Tuesday. We're now on Wednesday. Let's change for Wednesday. So choose Wednesday. What time are we on? 2011. Let's say 2015. Not in a rush. 2015 till 2030. Save. Okay, so we've got 2015 to 2030. Okay, so because we just saved it, it's gone ahead and read the controls because we toggled it on. It's toggled it off. Now I haven't implemented this yet to follow the timer, but I created the button. So basically, this is a way of telling relay 1 to work either off the timer or to be manually overridden. That's manually overridden. That's on the timer, but it's in off mode. If you know your timer is going to be kicking in soon, which it is at 2015, go back to here, 2015 till 2030, and it is Wednesday. If you know it's going to be doing that, what you can do is you just go in, and it's like a central heating timer. You got, depends on if you're there at the time of operating it in that particular zone. If you want to, if you know your zone is from 8 o'clock till 5 in the day, and you're there at 1 o'clock in the day, you can say, well, it's supposed to be on now, but because I've been testing stuff, I've switched it off. So what you do is you click it to the on position. Yeah. Or if you think I'm not bothered, or it doesn't supposed to come on till later, but I want it to react to the time zone, so just click it into the, keep toggling this one to get to the timer off. Yeah. So what will happen in about 1.5 minutes time, because you leave it like that, and also going off on a bit of a tangent, you might say, what happens if I reset the controller? So I've made it so it should remember it, but I haven't made it yet to load up the original state. It saves the state so I can toggle it to EEPROM, but I haven't told the program yet to, when it reboots, to check the state. So I've got to do that, but I will let it run till 2015, which is the same time on this timer, and then it's just gonna activate the relay. I tell you what I can do. I can give you the face down cam here. You'll see those lights come on. Anyway, we've had this working, but like I've changed the button to 4-way button now. I was in two minds whether to have a button here to switch it on, but then I got my main controls over this end. My controls are over this end, so I thought I want to be able to control everything from here, so I can give it an impulse. Like if I can just give it a click there, and that'll just impulse it for the egress time that's been set. Okay. The same with this one. So you've got relay 1 and 2. You've got, yeah, it's just clicked in there. See it? I haven't touched nothing. 2015. It's just come on. Timer on. So that's that. Yeah. And when it gets to 2030, the time will go off. Yeah. Let's try a reboot. Yeah. Let's try a reboot. So I'll log out. I'm going to press the controller reset now. The lights go off. That's the Arduino core disabling all the outputs. As soon as it boots back on, it comes back on. It remembers, checks the timer out straight away. So log back on, you see it's still on. Anyway, that's that bit of progress. Alright, let's just go back to this view. So I try to make the buttons the same. So that I've got to add the facility to remember this, to reinstall or restore the state. So if it ever gets reboot, if it gets if it crashes or gets reboot or power goes off, at least it'll come on. It does that anyway, checks the time zone, and it switches on. That's its default thing. But when you've toggled the state, so if I've toggled it to on and I want it left on, I want to override anything that's going on. That is written into a memory location now on the EEPROM, and it reads that back. So I need to get to read that back and just have a look at it and contemplate what it wants to do. It's only because the Wi-Fi connection, it could go out. There's loads of things to do, but at the minute it's getting the time from its network time protocol, which is over here. You can put any one you want in there and click save. So it's getting it from there. Now, if you want to work it standalone, I'll just switch that off, by the way. I toggled it off. But if I actually, if I toggle it off, watch this, because I'm not told to read the state, so I'll put it onto off. I'll log out and I'll reset the controller. Hang on, reset the controller. That's rebooting now. So I'll log back in again. Yeah, it's already come back on. Now it's only on timer on, right? Because it knows that I haven't introduced that side of it, but it knows to look at the timer. The timer's still on till 2030. Anyway, so that was just a way of, imagine this is on your phone. You don't want too many buttons spread all the way off the end of the page. You want it all accessible at a touch of a fingertip or a thumb. So I've tried to colour these so that red, when you go into timer, this band is red. So you know it's when it's on red. You actually, I don't know where to make that red as well. But anyway, you know where you've seen red before, and so on and so forth. Tokens, same kind of buttons for tokens. There's a single action button or toggle. That's just for the learn mode. You've got your tokens built in. Tell you what, let's just do a quick demo for anyone watching. Let's delete the tokens, right? So we're going to delete the tokens now. It'll erase the stored tokens. Are you sure? Yeah. Right, 0 of 1200 tokens. The way I've done it, it stores 200 tokens on the shared EEPROM memory on the ESP32, and it stores 1,000 on an 8K serial EEPROM. No, from memory that I pointed out earlier. So to learn, I've got some tokens here. They're not going to work now. Actually, that one's going to work because I've overridden it. Let me just override the timer. This is another reason why you want to override the timer. That's another thing I changed because I couldn't override the timer last time. But now you can override the timer. So go on tokens. If I click on the reader, you're going to get a beep off the read head, but you're not going to get that one still active. I haven't erased that one. So you get a beep off the read head, but you don't get no relay going on here. So it's rejected the token. Rejected it. And you go on to learn mode and you just put your token on. And that's it. That's all there is to learning them. Now this learn is persistent as well. Now I don't know if I've written to the memory location for learn. Possibly. Tell you what, we'll try that now. I'm going to log out. I'm going to reboot the controller. Right. I'll give it a second to boot up. Right, the timer's kicked back in. I go on to tokens. Now I haven't saved the learn mode. Although the learn mode, yes, I've toggled the button, but I haven't set the learn mode. Now, if I set the learn mode from the main software, let's do that now. Right, let's run up UPAS. It's going to talk to us now. I hope that the level's okay.
Welcome to UPAS. Engine 22 is now online. Engine 23 is now online.
Right, so UPAS software is now talking to the controller. Let's get rid of that a minute. Yeah. So it's talking to both controllers actually. I mean, it's already found that this controller, which is this, hang on. Let me get that up there, bring you back on this one. So this controller is controller 23 on the system, which is that one there. Now you can expand the controller. You can solo it. But you can see it's got R and T, which is, it's got one reader and it's got one timer enabled, which is active. Large T means, small t means not active. Large T means active. Yeah. But there is a learn mode in here. Let me just accelerate that up a bit. Right, let's just go on to that one. So you learn mode. So token storage mode for this controller. It's on UPAS default. Now if I set it to, if you watch that area there, I won't touch it. Right, standalone learn. Right, instant learn, standalone. So if I change that. How is it going to change? Oh yeah, yeah. See it changed then. Look, yeah. So it changed because it's learning the learn mode. The only thing I haven't done when I toggle it, I'm not changing the saved mode. This is a parameter. It's actually changing a setting in the controller. So which means every time it boots up, it's going to change the mode. But I'd like to change that back. I'd like to make that so it saves it, which I can easily do. So that's got one thing we've got to do. So I was using a utility to log all this stuff. Let me just, don't know whether you've seen this utility. Let me close this down a minute.
Thank you for using UPAS.
Anyway, that's like the big desktop thing too. This is the small way of doing it, and that's the main way of doing it. So, right, let's just run up a substitute drive a minute. Right, here we go. Right, so this is another program called Event Horizon, which I wrote. Now this one is free as in freedom, on public on GitHub. Anyone can use this. I haven't done a release of it, so you'd have to, probably need to do a release of it at some point. Anyway, it's great for people like me or creators who want to keep a track of something. Took me 436 man hours to make it in my spare time, all last summer basically. Yeah, so it uses XML files for the settings. It uses SQLite for the database, and it's got this first screen that does all the checks, the prerequisite checks. If you've got green ticks going down, check Event Horizon prerequisites, you passed. You click on open, you'll be able to open up your database. So let's just do that. I mean, it's multi-user as well. I'm the current user. I've got some dummy users in here. It's got built-in messaging and all sorts. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. Let me just quickly show you this. Of course, it's gone onto a different screen. Hold on a minute. Right, this is a bit fandangled. Basically, I've got to look at it all day, and I didn't want to have anything too garish. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Some people don't like it, some people do. You've got a UPAS logo in the wrong place. Let me just hide that a minute. Right. Yeah, so if I move it around, you've got a calendar view. All this side stuff is auxiliary. It tells you the time, the database stuff, and tells you your current user and your users online. Now when I shrink this, I can't really shrink it. So if you're on a laptop, you haven't got a wide screen. So what it'll do, it'll cut this area off here. It'll cut this area off. These will shrink both sides. You won't be able to get to reports, but you can get to reports by right clicking anyway. So I've built in some stuff in here. It's going off on a wild tangent. This is basically a tool you can use if you're a maker. I made it for work in my own time, so I thought, well, rather than just make it for work, I might as well make it public and everyone have a go at it, and I can use it myself. So your function keys are in banks, so you can select your function. This is all XML driven, so you can choose your own everything you want yourself. If you don't do any of this, you can start from blank. It shows you exactly what this title says, Event Horizon. So it basically showing you what events are due to come up over the horizon, basically. You've got this days token that tells you you're overdue. You can say, if I can choose different amounts of days, click refresh. 60 days. Now I haven't put any entries in here for a while, so you're probably not going to see. I'm on a limited last 30 records, so I'll go no limit. You're going to see the lot churn up. There you go. So anyway, I'll get off this quickly because it's a database tool basically for reminding you of stuff. So you've got event types. You can filter by event types. You want to see roadmaps, you just go on to right click on roadmaps and it'll show you all roadmaps. If you want to clear the roadmaps, you clear it, rewind it. Bug fixes, that's what I'm seeing. So event UPAS engine bug fixes, so I want that one up. So I'll right click on bug fixes. So UPAS engine bug fixes. So in here, brownout problem. Cannot yet. I've got another one to add now. It's not. I'm not going to write it in because I'm actually going to fix it today anyway. But this is where you can put all your stuff. You can do other stuff like product. You can have a look at your product. So I've got products. You can view. You can make a product. Like I've got a UPAS KPV2 engine here. It's got 25 notes. So if I open this up, right, it's got 25 notes. So this is all the bits that goes in to make a UPAS KP module up. Unless it's something I forgot to put in. You can give the total amount of cost for parts and all the rest of it. You can put the part numbers in. And if you double click on it, it'll even show you a picture of it. And you can put your price in there and all sorts. Your path file name to a picture of it. You know, you can work out how many quantity, whatever, stock level. It's even got a stock level if you want to put your how many you got in stock. This is all programmed by me from nothing. So if anyone wants your queries, you can tell it when you target date to reorder your stock. You know, you can put all sorts of stuff in there. Anyway, so once you've got all your bits lined up, there's a status bar at the top. All right, and there's a status bar at the bottom. And if you right click on it and go or view as a product, you can't see that, but I'll bring it over. It's opened up a print preview of the thing itself. It's got 0 entries. That's good. Hang on, what did I click on? I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, I clicked on the status bar. Let's try again. Yeah, that's better. So I just found another bug there. Anyway, so it shows you the full engine, and then you got all the bits that go to make it up. So with this, you could do quite a lot with it. You can do 2 pages, zoom in and out, print it, yeah, and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, that's that one. But if you want to link to that, there's nightly build which hasn't been touched since the 27th of the 11th last year. And if you use it and find it useful, you can even buy me a coffee on Patreon. There's some built-in help. I'll tell you about the event status, in case you want to know what all these icons are for. There's even function keys. Tell you what the function keys does. And you can make PDFs out of these and all sorts. Right, and it's not complete by any it's not complete, the help. I had to move back onto my UPAS project. So I basically got it functional to use at work. And any requests they want putting in after or additions, or anyone who's forked it or whoever wants to change it and upload it, they can do. And if I go on to that one, it should just open up the GitHub page. I'll just quickly show you that. I'll just do as a matter of completeness. If my computer doesn't crash or die a death. Right, yes, it is the it's a Dave Paul Jones Event Horizon -Horizon. It gives you a bit of it. There's all the files, some info. I've done what I can do. You can see I've not quite completed it, so getting started. And it says show examples, explain out, which I haven't done. I've done what I can do. I need to do more on it, but that's about it. Yeah, but there's no releases. Publish no, create a new release. No, I've not done anything like, so I don't know. Anyway, It's one of them. You just compile it and you run it, or you can have a release. If someone asks for it, I might do it. I'll finish it off. Because nobody shows much interest, I tend to leave it alone. I've got to concentrate on something else sometimes. Right, anyway, let's get rid of this, because this is, what else has it got on now? It's got messaging as well. Let me just quickly show you a message. I'll send a message to myself, so I'll come up with a new idea. I'll go, new idea. Show YouTube a new idea. Okay. Right, so we click on that. What will it do? Yeah. It shows you a little message box on the left that appears and disappears because it's for myself. I'm not interested. Now, if there was another user online, now I could log on again. If there was another user online, and I targeted them as a user, it would send the message to them and show the link. Anyway, and you can communicate around an office with it, basically. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Right, let's go on to here. What's going on here? Right, getting a weird substance going on now on the old screen. Right, so we're back on that. Don't know what showing me that for. Anyway, right, so we're back on that. So I don't seem to achieve a lot today, but other than waffle on tangent. Sorry about that. Anyway, so go back onto this. So you can see the time has gone off. It's gone past the time zone. So anyway, there's that. Oh yeah, I was going to create a new page. Would have to be under settings. It'd have to be called public holidays. Because most people, if they want to use a timer, what they don't want is it going off on Christmas week or Christmas Day or whatever holiday you celebrate. If the building is shut or premises is closed, you don't want an open period. Actually, with what's going on in the world at the minute, I wouldn't want to leave anything unlocked anyway, would you really? Them days are gone. But, I mean, it could be anything. This could be switching a light on or anything. So what you want is you want to be able to override it. If you program it to happen on a regular basis, once a week, now and again you want to override it. So here we'd have to have another table called public holiday. So these are the days of the week. Goes from 0, no, it starts from Monday with 0 on mine actually. Goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you got 7 and 8, which 7 would be a public holiday and 8 would be an event day. So basically, if you're a public holiday, if we had it here, actually, should we just go ahead and do it? Let's do it. Right, let's just add it. It won't take 2 minutes to add. Let's add it. Right, so go over to here. This might interest people anyway, this bit. Right, or it might not interest them, so you've got to go to your I've got to find it now. Where is it? Engine. No, this is the HTML for building all those stuff, all that page. Timer content. Here it is. This uses a load of tables at the minute. It's quite long-winded, but you can see how easy it would be to put another entry in. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. Excuse me. I'm going to call it. I want to keep it short, so I'm going to call it PUB for public holiday. Do we want to do event day? We might as well do event day. I don't know why, but I always wanted to go one up on existing systems. Event day. Right. So now I haven't got these variables assigned, so it's going to struggle. It won't struggle. It won't do anything. So I'm going to call this PUB. Yeah, and that's going to be PUB. That's going to be PUB, PUB. That's going to be PUB. And what all this 1 and 0 is whether it's an on time. So slot 1 is the first one. The next one is it's on, and that's slot 1 off. Slot 2 on and slot 2 off. And then there's your variable name, and we need to event. Put them in there. Right, so we've covered the 2 extra slots. We haven't got an option here for event day, so we're gonna have to add the options. Yeah, because you might want to set the event day or the public holiday. So we're gonna put PUB there and EVT. We're just gonna put, hang on, we're gonna put the name in as well. PUB, EVT, and PUB and event. Okay, so we've upgraded our web API or web interface. Nothing else has to change that end. It has to be done in code thereafter. So we're okay to compile that, and just going to hit save all. I'm going to hold the button in. Right, just going to hold the button down and then upload. Don't know how long this one's going to take to compile. Should take a fair bit of time. I'll keep the button held in anyway. Anyway, I'll have a little bit of a sip. Anyway, it's all based on community. So if you don't get any community, then it doesn't inspire people to do much. But if you're trying to make a web API or web interface, your ESP32, and keep some kind of usability out of it, because the web interface, it's just a way of changing something or viewing something. It's not its main role. Well, that's just gonna, obviously, yeah, it's just right into that let go of the button now. So we'll have a look at that and see what mess we made of it. Hopefully there'll be no mess. It'll just add the extra 2 tables to it. And then I can code the other end. Most of the end, this side, the firmware side of it, non-HTML side, is already done. Right, let's just bring up that. Why have I got that open, by the way? Oh. Hang on. Right, I opened up the wrong one then. Right, let's get rid of that down view. Still streaming okay, yeah. Right, so let's turn off the learning. Because that's the old screen. So I'd log back in. Right. Let's have a look at, yeah. So we're still on learning because I set it from the main software, even though we rebooted the controller. Well, that's what I want to do from when I press this button, but I've not told it to put that setting on, which I've got to do. Easy enough. Anyway, go back to timer. We just adjusted it, and we can see we've got an extra 2 tables now. Table rows, pub and event, and also we should have in here pub and event on the drop-down list. No, it ain't going to do nothing. Let me just see if it violently objects. So we'll just put an arbitrary time in. So we'll say 12:15 till 15:15, 15:30 on a public holiday. It's not going to fill this in, so I've got no code that looks at that. So click save. Right, and what it shouldn't have done is add any effect whatsoever. It saved it. It's not crashed. It's not rebooted because I can still go back here and click this. Yeah, still the same boot up part. So it proves that it can send the data, but it's doing nothing with it the other end. So we might as well. It's only added these 2 columns. Not much memory difference. We've got to keep an eye on the memory. Let me just go down here. I'll put the terminal on, which will reboot the controller. So let's reboot the controller. Let's bring back the screen. So this will be no longer any good. If I click there, it'll just go. If it can't find it, it'll go straight back to the login. So log back in, go on timer. And you can see this web page now is using that much memory. Well, yeah, that's how much memory it's using. I've only allocated it an 8K buffer, so it's getting up there, but it's still okay at the minute. If you don't allocate enough buffer, you'll lose it. So I suppose we also implement this bit in the other end of the code, which shouldn't be that difficult. Now these public holidays and event days, they won't do a thing until the controller knows about the date of a public holiday. And luckily all that work's been done. It's all been done off the main software. But I've got to implement it in here so you can do it as a standalone. Just so you can add a public.
Welcome to UPAS.
So basically this controller.
Engine 22 is now online. Engine 23 is now online.
So this controller can be more than just a So the controller can be more than just a access control. It can be a relay. It can be an annual relay or a 7-day timer. It can be an annual timer. As long as you've got the ability to override some public holidays. Okay, now we've got that somewhere down here. Public holidays, and there should be one called event days there. So your public holidays, you open that up. We've got one, a New Year's Day, and one called Got to Go Swimming, we did last time. So once these are saved, they will go over to the unit, and it will use them. Now, I can't remember if it was in, if you just click on save. I can't remember. I know. Hang on. You go new holiday, edit a public holiday, delete it. Yeah, I think it goes straight over to it. Broadcasts it. Not sure. The way we can find out is if we go make that bigger. Right. Let's shrink that software down a minute. Let's watch the. We can watch the packets. This buffer here. This is circular buffer. These 2 digits. You can watch the packet data. Let's create a new one. Right. So a new one. New public holiday. Are you sure? Right, holiday name, I don't know. What should we say? Dave's sick day. Tell you what, I've had a sick day, I don't want another one. Dave's UPAS release demo. Dave's UPAS demo, okay. Right, we want select the date. I'll just choose today. I don't care. Right, so click on that. So we created it. Now where does it send it? When does it send it? Or it's never been implemented it. So you close that. Now, obviously, not sent the details to it, have I? So we've got some more work to do there, unless it's not enabled. Unless there is a feature where it gets enabled. Hang on. Let's just have a look. Have we got one called public holidays? Times, temperature, sounders, communications, carriage, audio. Can't remember now. See if it's in the settings menu. Real time clock. No. Timer 1. No, so I've obviously got to. I don't know why I haven't done that, mate. I thought I'd done that. I have tested it in the past, so unless I've lost it somewhere. Anyway, so that's got to be sorted out as well. Right, so I'll just quickly show you a time zone in here. You'll understand what I'm on about now. Right, so there's your time zone. Right, so we've got two. We've got the main software time zone. Hang on, where's that, mate? So, main software. Oh, yeah, got to keep that running. Right, so you got your main software time zone, which includes holiday and event day, and you've got your web interface on the ESP32 with its addition of it. I don't know whether to change that to holiday. Yeah, holiday event day. Yeah, call it holiday there. Might as well call it holiday here as well. It's just called public holiday, but only called holiday there. Right, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so say if you wanted to set a public holiday on here, at the minute you go on here and you say if I wanted to copy that, this gets saved to that. In fact, shall we try it? It might not like it because I'm only allowed for 2 segments here for the day. I've allowed for, like, you could click there and you could click there, or you could click there and there, and that's all you're allowed for the day on the web interface. And if you want it more than that, you can go to the main software to do it. And you can have as many as you want, basically. And you can resize them, the scroll wheel up and down. Anyway, so say for instance, say if you had one from 8 o'clock till 5. Let's say 9 till 5. So 9 till 5. Let's just get rid of these a minute. And that one. So we'll copy that one. So you just click on the size you want and it'll automatically fill them in. Oh, I deleted that one. Put it back again. Nothing's being written at this point. You just got to save it at the end. Right, so for instance, if suddenly what your 1 week was, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to ask you pass the time. Ready? You pass, what time is it? Lit up then. You pass, what time is it?
The time is 8:52 p.m.
You pass, what time is it?
The time is 8:52 p.m.
It likes the audio on that, doesn't it? I was struggling last time I was streaming. You pass, what time is it?
The time is 8:53 p.m.
Okay. You pass, expand window. You pass, expand all engines. You pass, ping all engines. You pass, collapse all engines. It's working great now. I've got rid of that noise. I put a noise suppressor on it on the filter. Yeah, so it's noise all along. The fan of the computer, more than likely. Yeah. Right, okay. UPAS collapse window. UPAS collapse window. Right. Anyway, so going back to this, if you had scheduled a holiday and it was just happened to be a Wednesday, for instance, you might have locked your building up and you've gone away and you've found your main gates open or your lights come on or your door is unlocked, whatever you want to do, and you're nobody there, so you wouldn't want that. So what you do is you assign that day as a holiday, and what that'll do is it'll look to this empty segment here. It's empty at the minute. It'll look at that and go, what do you want me to do? I'm going to ignore this day, but I'm going to substitute it for this assigned holiday because this is what you told me to do on a certain day of holiday. So basically, it's going to do nothing here. It's not going to open the door, which is what you want. You don't want to open the door because there's no one there. Or if it could be that you've got something else going on, like say if that's a normal working hours, but you've got a function in the afternoon at say you want people to meet you at 2 o'clock, right? 2 o'clock till 4:30. That's it. So you put that in there. So it's going to ignore Wednesday and it's going to use holiday. If you set a holiday or if you've set an event day, it happens to be on that. And the way I've written it is if you've got a holiday and an event day with the same conflicting settings, it'll use the holiday instead. So you got to make sure you don't put contradicting days in. Or it'll make sure when you try and add a date, it'll say you've already got a date for that. Anyway, and you can use AI as well within it. Be your own artificial AI. It won't be Google's AI or anyone else's AI. It'll be just something that looks at stuff.
Ending 2.
Just be something that looks at stuff and determines whether that makes sense or not. Anyway, that's that, and this is what we're implementing in here. So I'll get rid of that. That's just the about screen. Sorry, I clicked on the logo. It shows you that. So my logo's out of date as well because it has got a little character on it. Talking of logos, let's put the logo back on. Right. Let's close the main software anyway. So I've still got to build MQTT compatibility and Tasmota into this yet. Started doing it. So I've got lots of angles going on here, lots of spreading out of tangents. So yeah. Right, let's close this down. Before we do that, we'll ask again. UPAS, what time is it? Is it going to ignore me now? UPAS, what time is it?
The time is 8:57 p.m.
UPAS, expand window. UPAS, expand all engines. UPAS, collapse 2-3. UPAS, collapse 2-2. UPAS, collapse 2-2. UPAS, ping 2-2. UPAS, ping 2-3. Okay. UPAS, expand all engines. UPAS, collapse all engines. UPAS, expand 2-2. UPAS, expand 2-3. UPAS, expand 2-3. UPAS, ping. UPAS, ping all engines. Let's get them to reboot, yeah. UPAS, reboot all engines. Yeah, let's reboot them all now. Right, let's just go down the bottom here. We're back on. So they automatically come back online again. Let's do it again. So you can see the LCDs here. Alright. UPAS, reboot all engines. Yeah. And that's all voice driven. Yeah. Hands are here. Right. Ready? UPAS, reboot all engines. UPAS, reboot all engines. Yeah. UPAS, what time is it?
The time is 8:59 p.m.
UPAS, ping 22. Too slow then. UPAS, ping all engines. UPAS, ping 23. UPAS, ping 22. Oh, you can do stuff like unlock as well. UPAS, open all engines. Didn't get me. UPAS, open all engines. UPAS, close all engines. UPAS, open 23. UPAS, close 23. UPAS, collapse window. Right, I'll put my hands down now. So, right, here we go. I'm going to go back to the controls on this one. Let's get the other screen up as well. Just before I finish off. Right, let's. How can we do this? Oh, that's that one. Right, let's load. This is an older version of it, but you should see the relays. That's 2.2 and that's 2.3 there. There we got the main software running. Right, so here we go. We're gonna interact with it two different ways. Right, hands free. UPAS, what time is it?
The time is 9 p.m.
Okay. UPAS, open 2.2. Didn't get me. UPAS, open 2.2. I got me. UPAS, open 2.3. Yeah, you couldn't quite see it there. So the open command is not getting reflected through to this kind of technology. Right. What else can we do with it? UPAS, close all engines. UPAS, close all engines. UPAS, reboot all engines. Right, that's going to be. Let's just pull the rug from underneath the carpet. So we'll carry on picking the time up, but these pages won't be there anymore. If I click on it, it'll take. If I click on anything here, it'll take you straight back to the login screen. Or maybe it won't. Maybe just go log out. Click on that. No, gotta go log out. So you can log back in again. And you can do UPAS open on all engines. I messed that up. UPAS open all engines. UPAS open all engines. UPAS open all engines. UPAS ping all engines. UPAS close all engines. Alright, that's it then. Anyway, I'm getting bored of that now. Alright, let's close that down. Close that one
Thank
down.
you for using UPAS.
Okay. Right, so what we were doing. Anyway, got some progress. Got a quad state button. Still got some more threads to find the ends of in here. Like that test we just done. It's opening, it's lighting that one up, but it's because that's going off the same one as this. But what I need to do is make it do the same one as that. So we've got tokens we haven't done anything with. We're still on learning. We can switch that off. Timer we've added. I've got to add the fields for that. I'll probably do that later on. Do that for the next time. And we'll check out why the public holiday is not getting sent to the controller. But you'll be able to do it from here anyway. Under the settings, we need a public holiday and event day tab. Right, that's enough for one day. Anyway, alright, that's going to be about it. So let me get you back onto front view. Should I do? Better not do the old reggae sauce and pick a guitar up, start strumming it and singing a song. No, we don't want that. Oh dear. Right then, I've got to get off the computer now. So that'll do. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you again soon. And catch you on the next one when I've got a bit more progress done. Bye for now.